All right, let's go ahead on and do Sunday Bible study. It is very early Sunday morning at 1:54, which I think that's going to change back. Let's see if it doesn't. Um, Revelation 12:12 to 13:1. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because ye knoweth that he hath but a short time. But when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she should fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. Not real sure what this means past what we said in yesterday's study, that you will not face the hour of temptation. You will be given the discernment. Now, is this speaking to just the remnant of Romans 11, which we did run into that word remnant yesterday? And if so, there might be a special situation for those Jews in the wilderness. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as of a flood to the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away. And that also speaks to Daniel in the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And that would be something to look at when you read Daniel. Daniel and Revelation are extremely connected. That's why I go back and forth and do each. And flood, Daniel, Bible. The flood of Daniel 9:26. So I think you can relate that to this. Whoops. This is the abomination that causes desolation right before it. And after three score and 2 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, for the people of the prince shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war of desolations are determined. So I think you're going to have to relate that flood to that flood of Revelation 12:15 and Daniel 9:26. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And there's that remnant again, which kept the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And so seven heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's basically your 7 Antichrist type figures. But one was actually turned by the Lord. 5 were unsaved. Revelation 17 refers to them as 5 are fallen. So let's go over that. Revelation 17. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is. And the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, the Antichrist. So he is the 7th, but he returns again and is the 8th, because he returns from receiving a deadly wound. So they've told us basically that through their predictive programming that it's done by cloning. They used cloning in the movie. It was the last Star Wars movie, and in the movie The Prestige. Unless they've just always been twins and cloning is fake, and they've just tried to make us think it's cloning. I have no idea. Obviously, it's not for us to know for sure, is it? Because if we knew for sure, then we would know for sure. And the beast that was the first trump and is not when he's removed, even he is the 8th. And that's when he comes to continue for a short space. And is of the 7, because he receives a deadly wound, but did live. And we're about to get into that in Revelation 13:3, 13:12, and 13:14. It says it 3 times. And goeth into perdition. So as soon as Trump is removed, seemingly so, he goes into perdition, but he will be hidden from the world until he comes back to the abomination that causes desolation. And of course, Trump is on the temple coin. So we know there's a coming 3rd temple. Did I miss something? I thought I could click on it and then arrow over. And there's the other temple coin he's on. Okay. There we go. One they say is the Sanhedrin coin. Sons of Light, because he is the Lucifer is light team. And the sons of darkness, Satan. Satan and Lucifer. The yin yang, the light and the dark. And then, of course, we know that Mike Pompeo has been seen overlooking the coming 3rd temple, which takes us back to the Bible verse in Thessalonians. Excuse me, that would be 2 Thessalonians. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So I think you get the idea that he's going to be sitting in the temple of God. Don't ever let people make you think that it's the human body. The Antichrist is a person and cannot be inside your body. And Satan could not set up shop inside of a sheep's body anyway, because there's sheep predestinated at the foundation of all things. And the goats, by proxy, are of their father the devil, and those that are alive will be handed the strong delusion, and they will take the mark. The mark of the beast is not a vaccine unless it comes after. If you have to take something like a vaccine after you see Trump return from the dead and sits in the temple of God, declaring himself that he is God, full of blasphemies, and that he had previously allegedly died. Then, if there's a vaccine that everybody must take after that, by what? worshiping the image of the beast, then you get the vaccine, because remember, that's what comes with the mark. You must worship the image of the beast. Don't let anybody make you think that's symbolic for money or your life on earth. No. No. Take it exactly the way it said, because it said all over the place. Matthew 24, Revelation 13, Revelation 17, 2 Thessalonians 2, Daniel 2, and Daniel 7. Now, you want some added extra stuff? Daniel 8, Daniel 9, Daniel 10, Daniel 11, Daniel 12. But the other ones are the basics. So that's it for that explanation. Let's go to Luke. Now the man out of whom the devils were departed besought him that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, Return to thine own house and show how great things God have done unto thee. And he went his way and published throughout the whole city how great things Jesus had done unto him. And it came to pass that when Jesus was returned, the people gladly received him, and they were all waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Jairus, and he was ruler of the synagogue, and he fell down at Jesus' feet and besought him that he would come into his house, for he had only one daughter and 12 years of age, and she was dying. And he went to the people thronged. So you've got a man that's one of God's elect. So God struck his daughter so that this man could then come to Jesus, because he's a sheep. He can hear his voice, and he knew that he was God in the flesh. And of course, the daughter was sheep also, and she lay dying. But as he went, the people thronged him. And the woman, having an issue of blood 12 years, which had spent all her living upon physicians, could neither be healed of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment, and immediately her issue of blood was stanched. So it was fixed. And Jesus said, Who touched me? When all denied, Peter and they were with him said, Master, the multitude throng thee and press thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me? Like, in other words, we can't figure out, but everybody touches you. How could we figure out who touched you? Anyway, thank you very much. Love you very much.